Hello, Mission Pro family. I am your host, Melanie. As you can tell, I am here solo. The lovely Emily May Heller is out. It is her birthday today. So, in honor of her birthday, I'm using my Happy Birthday Gorgeous mug because we wish her a big happy birthday from Mission Pro Wrestling. Before we get to our guest, everybody who we're so excited to have, Skylar, let's talk about Mission Pro really quickly and some updates. First off, how much did you love our first intergender show uh, on Friday, Shoot to Thrill, raising money for the Salvation Army? Because I absolutely loved it. I want to hear your thoughts. If you guys were watching Untitled Match Network, or if you were there live, drop it in the comments. Because I had the absolute best time. Forgot I was there to work and I started watching the show. It was so much fun. And of course, we raised money, about $1,500 for the Salvation Army Peacock Boys and Girls Club right here in San Antonio, Texas, for the Boys and Girls programs. So we are just so thrilled about that. But you thought that was the last time you were going to see us at the Boys and Girls Club, didn't you? It's not. December 11th, guys. New date. December 11th. We are going to be putting on our second show for the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club to raise money, and we are going to up that bar. We're going to double, no, triple the amount that we raise, because we're going to have so much goodies up for auction, for sale. We're going to have Thunder Rosa's kettlebell there. So we are so excited to try and beat our previous record, December 11th, Salvation Army Peacock Boys and Girls Club, San Antonio, Texas. I believe Mr. Rosa already put the tickets on sale, guys. You guys don't even know the card, and you can already buy your tickets. How amazing is that? I love it so much. A lot of goodies coming up, guys. As you know, Mission Pro is going on the road September 11th and September 12th, a full weekend in Oklahoma. I'm sorry, guys. Until that show happens, I'm going to be singing Oklahoma. I might even do a dance. I don't even know. But before I start my musical number, I would love to bring in my guest, Skylar. If you guys aren't familiar with her, get familiar with her. She is going to be with us all weekend in Oklahoma, and she knows more about Oklahoma than I do. So if you guys have any questions about Oklahoma, I say get them out. Pull them out for her. I've never been to Oklahoma. I've gone as far as a casino, lost my money, and then headed back to Texas with my tail between my legs. All right? So without further ado, guys, I'm bringing in Skylar. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I have so many questions.
Okay, I kind of wanted to hear that musical number first.
Oh, no, nobody needs to hear that musical number. Okay. I think I screamed way too hard at our show, and so now my voice sounds like this. So let's talk Oklahoma. We're doing Oklahoma City on the 11th at the Taco Festival. And then we're doing Tulsa on Sunday. I mean, are you, first of all, are you prepared for no sleep for a whole week, right? Whole weekend?
Well, yeah, I'm used to it. I've been in this business for 6 years now, so I'm used to the no sleeping on the weekend. So I'm so excited for it. It's going to be a big weekend in Oklahoma as far as professional wrestling goes.
I definitely think so as well. Now, it'll be my first time in Oklahoma. Are there some things I should know or pack before I head out there?
Well, right now it's super hot. It's like 102 degrees. Heat index is terrible. Wow. So hopefully it'll cool off by that weekend in September.
I hope so. So we are going to be outside on this Saturday, which I think everybody needs to bring sunscreen and umbrellas and then on Sunday, we're inside. We're at a VFW. But is there, I mean, what is the drive difference between Oklahoma City to Tulsa if our fans wanted to follow us?
Oh, yeah, they should. It's only an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 45 minutes, somewhere in there. So it's very drivable. Definitely hit up both shows.
Nice. I love that. I'm so used to Texas where everything takes 3 hours to get anywhere.
Well, yeah, usually it's like 8 hours. It takes forever to get across that state. Yeah, but Oklahoma, from Oklahoma City to Tulsa, it's nothing. Just enjoy both shows. I'm excited for the Taco Festival, and then Tulsa's my hometown, so I'm excited for
Oh,
that
okay.
show. Yeah, I think the venue is like 15 minutes from my house, so I'm so excited.
I love it. Ryan Romano, who is one of our big fans, is in our chat. He says that the Tulsa and Tulsa will be your debut. And I will, once again, Ryan, it's all in good fun, but I will correct you. Her debut will be on Saturday at the Oklahoma City Taco Festival. That's what she's going to. Will you share tacos with us? It's usually customary. Emily gets everybody to share some tacos with us. We're
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
get you
taco
down.
festival. Share all the tacos you want.
Absolutely, but after the match, right? We don't want any messes
Right.
before.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask. So, uh, you've been wrestling for 6 years. You're in a tag team. I don't know if you're aware, but Mission Pro is looking for tag teams.
Yes, I'm in a tag team with my sister. We're kind of fighting right now in the ring. We're feuding in
Oh,
Oklahoma, so slice and kill. It might be over, but we might make a comeback. We'd love to go back to Mission. We were supposed to wrestle there. When was that? A few months ago, but COVID kind of took a toll on us, and one of us
yes.
tested positive for it. So we took the safe route and didn't end up going to that show. But we'd love another shot to tag team down there.
Absolutely. I know that it's been like a really like such touchy situation right now with COVID and stuff like that. But it's one of those things you're like you want in the rings. I know wrestlers lately are like just itching to get back. Like they're taking all the safety precautions. We're taking all the safety precautions. But how long do you think you could stay out of a ring if you had to? I mean, no training, nothing.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I did it for a year one time. I
yeah.
got pregnant in 2018 with my son, so I had to set out. I set out a year. I came back 3 months after I had my son, and that's about all I could
Wow.
do. Yeah. I
Three
had one
months
match.
though.
Yeah. Yeah. I had one match that I didn't know I was pregnant with him. And, but that was it. And then, yeah, after I had him 3 months later, I was back in that ring training, and it's been good so far.
Wow, that's amazing. 3 months. I would not have. I have three of them, three kids, and
Uh-huh.
after 3 months, no way. Could have I couldn't I couldn't even like get up to go on a treadmill. I was like, no.
Yeah. Well, I
I
couldn't wait
commend
any
you.
longer. Yeah, I had to. I couldn't wait any longer.
That's amazing. So Brian is in the chat. He actually is dropping some trivia. Skylar was supposed to be a tag champ for me a few years back.
I was a tag
Wow.
champ for him. I had to give it up because I got pregnant.
There you go. But she
Yeah.
came back, and now she's back. She's back with Mission Pro. Um, when you come back to Mission Pro, is there anybody that you're looking forward to facing, or somebody that you would like to face?
I'm really excited to face my opponent that weekend in Tulsa, Micah. She's good. I've been keeping track with her, and she has a lot of skills. I think our differences are really gonna bring out the best in us. So I'm really excited for
Yeah.
that. And then really, there's a lot of talent at Mission. So just anyone, throw anyone my way. I'd love to work with anyone. It's just such a talented roster.
And then you have worked Micah in the past. Is that correct?
We've done some custom matches together, but no live
Okay.
show matches. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Hmm.
So it could go either way on this. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
It could,
Yeah, absolutely. She's pretty fast, technical wrestler, high flyer, and I like to stay on the ground and just use my strength to my advantage. So I think it's going to be a great matchup.
I think it's gonna be a great matchup as well. You guys sound like I'm always excited to see what Micah can do because she's been training so hard. She's putting so much time into her training, so that she's been bringing stuff new to the ring. And so I love to see her back at it again and see her live because it's been a while since I've seen her live. Of course, the last time we saw her, everybody was, it was on AEW Dark, which
Yeah.
kudos to her.
Yeah,
Um,
awesome.
so what have you been doing, like not just this past year, but the year before to get you through the COVID and the pandemic and everything?
Um, well, I've also been training. I recently started working out at Orange Theory Fitness. My friend Steve hooked me up with it.
Mhm.
And I've been hitting the treadmill in there, rowing machine, and of course, before COVID, we wear our mask, we go in there, and then
Right.
we take it off to work out and then put it back on. But definitely wanted, with COVID, everything, got to keep those lungs healthy. So I really upped my cardio game working out there. And then I train once a week here in Tulsa. Core Professional Wrestling has a training school, and we train once a week. And I've been trained with Mascara Porpora, he's been in CMLL and Shikara, and he's a great trainer. So I'm going to be just as ready as Micah is for Tussle and Tulsa.
Nice. And I was gonna ask, so you've been training it at Core Professional Wrestling with a luchador,
Mm-hmm.
and so I also assume that you've done American style. That's the way you started.
Yeah.
How do you find the differences?
Um, Really, I just try to find the similarities and roll with that. I don't have a whole lot of experience with luchador training or with luchador matches, but the training,
Mhm.
it's a whole different level. It's fast paced and you got to know your basics. So I'm just having a lot of fun kind of combining both and learning from my trainer and kind of learning a lucha style, but incorporating American style into it.
I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to put more styles into the wrestling. They're not just sticking to American. They're not just going to lucha or Japanese. Do you find that that's the case? And if so, like, what do you think is like kind of like your favorite style, or is it like the whole mixture?
Um, let's see. In 2017, I went over to Europe and wrestled for British Empire Wrestling. I noticed I really
Okay.
like that style, like the hard hitting,
Yeah.
just rough style. I think that's just up my alley. So I really enjoy that. And then the American style. But I mean, like I said, you find the similarities and you just kind of roll with it.
I love all the differences in wrestling, the hard hitting style, the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese style, the lucha style. I agree. I think I love the hard hitting style, but I think, when you guys say that I loved hard hitting, I say I'm gonna say a prayer for your opponent, for Micah on one night. I don't know who you're facing yet on Saturday, but I've seen some of your matches, so I know you love that hard hitting style. Love you. I've seen your hits, and they look. I don't know. I can hear them.
Oh no. Yeah, I do. I do love that style, but you got to be able to wrestle any style, and that's what I've been trying to do and training for.
So, uh, 6 years training. Right now, you're doing American and lucha. You're in Oklahoma. Are there any other places you'd like to go or places you'd like to train and check out?
Yeah, I'm heading to Missouri for the first time this weekend, so that'll be different. But I'd love to just branch out, work as many states as I can. I would love to either go to Japan or Mexico one day. Since I've been to Europe and done that, I'd like to hit up Japan and Mexico and just get that underneath my belt. I'd love to get down to Texas and maybe train with Rosa, Jazz, maybe go to Booker T if I have time. I'd love to just go down there and learn. I'm willing to learn anything I can.
It's so great. Have you noticed that it feels like there's a almost like a wrestling boom right now. Have you noticed that in your end as well?
Yes, absolutely. Just the stuff going on TV. I hope it's going to carry over into the indies and everyone just get excited for wrestling again. I think Mission Pro coming to Tulsa is going to, or coming to Oklahoma in general, is just going to up the wrestling game here in the state.
It's interesting. You and I have been talking back and forth about Oklahoma. That it's kind of new to me. I have never worked there, obviously, with wrestling, but there's a commission there. Do you find that it's better to be working with commission because now you know that everybody has to go through this checkout process. You have a license. Do you feel like that is a better process when you're working a state as opposed to like Texas where we have no commission?
I wouldn't say it's a better process. Obviously, it's necessary if they have it. Something probably happen but
Right.
they part of the process is they test you for HIV, hepatitis B and C. So I kind of like knowing my opponent isn't hiding that from me. Like they have to
Right.
prove that they don't have it. But then there's some rules that I just don't quite understand. Like we can't wrestle men. Like the women can't wrestle men. I feel like that's a little outdated. And then you have to have a license and a permit to have a show. And understand it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's better, but go along with it.
Right, right. If
Yeah.
you could wrestle a guy, is there someone that's on your list?
I would love to wrestle my husband any day. He's been wrestling. Yeah, we met through wrestling, and he proposed to me in a wrestling ring, so I'll always wrestle him. But I would love a match with my trainer, Mascara Porpora, because he's amazing. I don't know if you've heard of him, but look him up. He's good. And so I would love a match with him.
Nice. We'll definitely get him up on the socials too, so everybody go and check him out as well. It's gonna be a fun show. Mission Pro likes to keep everything positive and likes to keep everything in the locker room like positive and uplifting and stuff like that. Um, has there been a case in the past where you're just like, that's it, I'm done with wrestling? I feel like everybody's got at least one wrestling story. You're just like, you have to think about it like, okay, is this what I want to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Sure, you've had those moments where you get frustrated with whatever's going on, but at the end of the day, if you're not doing this and having fun, then you don't need to be doing it. That's the bottom line, is like why we're doing it. We have a love for it, we have a passion for it, and once that's lost, I feel like, maybe find something else you're passionate about. But no, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm just like, oh, I'm completely done with this. I still have a love for it. And me and my husband actually run professional wrestling shows at our church, and that's the way we raise money. And we are loving that right now.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I mean, it's such a fun way to raise money as well. Like we said, we just did a show for the Salvation Army, and what better way? We had the kids there. I mean, what better way to raise money is by and entertain through wrestling. Some people don't get it, and get to them. It's like, I feel like something clicks, and they're like, I get it now.
Yeah, no, it's fun just putting
Um,
your passion into and giving back to something. It's a really good feeling.
I love that. So let me ask you, you've been on the road through Texas and different states. Do we have any road stories that you like to share? I mean, we've had some unusual ones of like
Let me think.
bags taken at the airport and then returned.
No, just one thing that comes to mind. One time is my husband and a guy we wrestle with. He goes by Gavin Dixon, and we actually were on our way to wrestle at Joe Exotic, the Tiger
Yeah.
King and all that. Yeah, so and it was just the funniest day. Like, we just drove to Wynnewood, Oklahoma, and they set up a wrestling ring around like all these tigers and all these animals, and it had pyro of all things. And it's even more crazy after the documentary came out. So that's just one road story that comes to mind. Most have been pretty chill, but that one it was just a wild day.
So the ring was in the middle of all the tigers,
Yes. Yeah. Like, the tigers were obviously like in their cages, but they set up the ring in the middle of this park. Like, there were like parrots next to us and goats and obviously tigers. And like, the parrots were saying like all these like bad words, were like using the F word. And then when the
what?
pyro, yes, like it was crazy. And and like when the pyro went off, this goat like ran around and like ran into a doghouse. Like, they put a doghouse, like, and I was like, is it still alive? Like, it was just the craziest day of wrestling. It was a lot of fun though, but it was just crazy.
I've always said wrestling can take you to the weirdest places and put you in the weirdest circumstances.
Yeah.
So I mean, you go, you're in a ring. So when you're wrestling, the fans are there. They're just parrots and birds.
Yeah. And they were watching the show too. I mean, they were like in cages behind the people. But yeah, right in the middle of that Joe Exotic animal park, we were wrestling and had pyro and are scaring all the animals.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've not heard that. I've heard people like have wrestled there, but I've not heard that there was actually animals around at the time. I thought it was just like,
Yeah.
Isolated in a field or something.
Yeah, this was like they probably had this show like a couple times, but this was the first and only time I ever did that, where just set up the ring in the middle of that park and could hear tigers in the middle of the match.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I also think it's unbelievable that the birds are probably more foul mouthed than the fans.
Yeah, they were awful. It was funny, but
I love it so much. Okay, so we have that is actually a crazy road story, but I want to know, like, regarding travel. I feel like when you're traveling, there's always that one, like, you have a one, like, something you do that's either like for good luck, or you do it out of habit. What is the one thing? Like, I know some wrestlers do not check their gear. Is there, because they're always afraid it's gonna get stolen or whatever? Is there something that you do that's like a custom or for good luck?
ooh, not really. Just one habit I've learned. I was with my very first trainer. He goes by the name Canadian Red Devil, and he's wrestled in
Oh, okay.
Oklahoma for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do not stop for anything. Like he has taught like me and my husband and everyone else who train with him, we just go. So I wouldn't say I have like a ritual that I do, but I don't stop till I get to the show. Flying's a different story. I've flown a few
Right, right.
times and I don't check my gear because I don't trust the airport.
Yeah.
but but I keep everything with me in my suitcase. So
What is the longest you think you've driven to a show that you did not stop?
that I did not stop. Probably like to Austin, like that's a 6.5 to 7 hour drive, and we just
Yeah.
went right on through.
Wow.
Hmm.
I feel like I stopped at least two or three times on that trip, just to going from
Yeah.
San Antonio to Dallas.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
long.
it's hard to not to stop at Buc-ee's when you're from Oklahoma. You just want to stop at Buc-ee's because that's one of the best places in the world, but spend all my money there too.
That's true. No reason why you don't stop? Is it just to get through the venue, or
Yeah, just get
just
there
to make
and
good
so
time? Like,
yeah. Yeah, because I'm in the car, I'll just be thinking about my match or just be stressing, like, oh, we got to make it there. So I have time to get ready and all that. So, and I think it's just drilled into my head. We got to get there and we don't stop.
that makes sense. I think that a lot of people don't realize how early wrestlers get to the venue to start, getting ready and start doing things that they think they need to do. Especially when, like, the bell time is 7 o'clock and you're usually there, what, around 1 or 2 already in the afternoon. So it's
Hmm.
an all day thing.
Yeah, it takes up your entire day, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, once you get there, it's fun. You're in the zone and everything's going. Um, do you find that once you're there, it's just like time just flies after that?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Just get busy talking about the match or setting up something, or
Hmm.
you just stay busy. And when you're busy, that time flies by. And next thing you know, your match is up next.
Um, Brian would like to know: are there any new women training in Oklahoma? And if so, like, do you are there some that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I met a woman named Robin this weekend at All Star Pro, and she refed my match, but she said she's training in Oklahoma City. I said I'm from Tulsa, but she's going to come down and train with us tomorrow, is when we do our training. And I think she said she was going to be refing for Mission Pro, so keep a lookout for her. She had a great look and nice personality, so I'm ready to see what she has to offer the Oklahoma women's wrestling scene.
Absolutely. Robin will be with us September 11th and 12th. She'll be refing for both days. I mean, how could I not? I love people who are ambitious and working towards their dreams. So we're glad and happy to have her. We have another question from Ryan. What are some of the popular indie promotions in Oklahoma?
Um, Core Professional Wrestling is the one that I own. And I love it so much. Some other ones, UWO, it's based out of Oklahoma City. It's United Wrestling Oklahoma. But they kind of travel back and forth from Tulsa to Oklahoma City. They're a good one to work for. Our All Star Pro Wrestling in Oklahoma City. Geez, there's a lot. And then there's Wrestling for a Cause, which they do shows for kids with childhood cancer, and they'll donate all the money to the family with the kids. And then Wrestling Against Hunger in Tulsa, and that's another charity show.
Nice. I love all the. I feel like there's a lot of charity shows in Oklahoma. That's
Yeah,
amazing. I love it.
yeah. Like I said, like you put your passion into something, or you use your passions to raise money for something else that you're passionate about. And I feel like you got to be wrestling for the right reasons. And what better reason than to help your community out, or help your church out, or
Absolutely.
help another family in need out. So it's a great thing.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So, Skylar, um, what are some of the things that you still have not done in this business that you would like to do?
Um, like I said, I'd still would like to go to Japan and wrestle, or go to Mexico and wrestle. I'm love the experiences that wrestling has brought me, so I'm all about just getting a good experience, and then maybe working some names that I haven't worked with, and just learning from them. I'm just wanting to learn and do the best I can while I can do it.
What are some of the names that you have on your list? I feel like every wrestler now has a list, and I love that so much.
Yeah, well, I would like to work Thunder Rosa. I haven't had a match with her. That would be great. I've had matches with Mickey James, Marty Bell, and
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Mickey. She's great. I would love a one-on-one match, because I was in a triple threat with her. So just there's a lot of good women out there, and love to share the ring with any of them.
Absolutely. How, like, after this past year, with 2020 and stuff like that, with the whole Me Too and speaking out, did that affect you in any way of like, you know what, I'm going to put more concentration in this, or I'm going to take time to do this, or did it change your perspective at all with the whole wrestling community? Because I know, like, with Thunder Rosa and Brian, they're like, well, we need to create Mission Pro, turn it all women. We need to do better for the locker rooms. Is there something that you've done to change, or the industry at all? Is what I'm curious about,
Well,
or to look at it
the
differently.
no, I definitely do. I've tried to make it a goal to not only raise money for my church with CORE, but give women's wrestling a home. There's you know, there's a couple promotions that just don't have a lot of women's wrestling, if any at all. So definitely want to give any of the girls willing to travel to Oklahoma, or if they're from Oklahoma, just somewhere they're
Yeah.
comfortable going and performing, and given the time that they deserve, and showing that we can wrestle just as good, if not better, than the men on most nights. So that's been a goal of mine with CORE, is to just provide a home for women's wrestling. And just anyone willing to travel to Oklahoma, just hit me up and you're booked. I'd love to give anyone a platform to show what they got.
I love that. I feel like there's nothing wrong with it, guys. Don't get upset with me, but there's still a
Yeah.
lot of promotions that don't have any women on the card, and that's fine.
Hmm.
But that's why we have Mission Pro, and then of course with Core Professional Wrestling, just giving more of a platform to women's wrestling. And then now, with, I feel like, this boom independent wrestling, there's also a boom in women's wrestling, but not the same type of boom we had before. It's actually a boom for women who can wrestle, and not just fill a certain size or fill a certain quota. I didn't know if that's been your experience as well, or what you're seeing, or like how have are you keeping track of the indies and seeing something different?
Yeah, I'm seeing women, like you said, like all shapes and sizes, all wrestling style, like are just welcomed, and we're expected to have matches like guys. There's not a whole lot of promotions anymore that, okay, you get 3-minute match. Like there's been promotions I've worked where I'm main event, and it's not a weird thing for a woman to main event. So it's definitely, I think women's wrestling is just going to get better and better from here, especially with AEW showcasing more women, putting them on TV, and seeing a lot of familiar faces on TV. And I think that's so great.
I do too. I think it's a great thing. And of course, with all the indies right now, you see women on like the even playing fields, even like in hardcore and death matches. You see like Masha and Ali Catch doing some of those matches, which is and keeping up with the guys, which is awesome. Um, is that something that you're looking at? Would you ever look at not at looking at like more like hardcore matches, or you're like, no, that's it. I'm
No,
done with just. Uh, I
I'm
just
down
want
for
to do.
anything. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm down. One of my favorite matches I've ever had was a ladder match, and it was physical. And my girl Phoebe and my sister, it was a triple threat ladder match, and it ended up getting an award in Oklahoma. We have like a website that gives out awards, and it won match of the year, and it was up against several men's match. Like they were all men's matches except this ladder match, and the fans voted us number one. So I'm down for any match. You never know what'll just bring out a better wrestler in you.
I love that, and like I said, I have noticed more women getting into that, which is amazing to me because I mean that's it's just another form of wrestling. We say wrestling is for everybody, and there really is. There's so many niches within wrestling. So if you can't find something, it's like maybe you're not looking for it.
Yeah, right.
But there's just so many different categories within wrestling. It's amazing. Um, are there certain people that you like to watch that are either on the indies or on television that you kind of study from?
Um, I try to learn from girls I get in the ring with. Erica Torres is one I step in the ring a lot, and I've learned so much from her, especially since I first started. Um, and then, like I said, the AEW matches, how it's a huge platform for women right now. So I'll tune in and try to watch something. But I try to get like bits and pieces and just try to make it my own whenever I study film or watch anything on TV. So
Absolutely.
definitely watch and learn.
Now, are you look at it and study it, or you're like, no, once the match is done, I can't look at it anymore. It's done.
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it, study it, and it's usually just like little things like how I move away from the opponent or little things like that, or I'll ask my trainer to watch and just you have to watch yourself. And I was an athlete growing up. I played college basketball, and
Okay.
we had to wake up early in the morning and watch ourselves play the game, play basketball, and learn from that. So I think I carried that over into professional wrestling.
That's good. I do know some people like, can't watch themselves, but it's like, how do you learn? But do you find that you're harder on yourself than other, let's say your trainer or somebody else watching your match?
I know my trainer's hard on me, and he does
Yeah.
not sugarcoat. He does not sugarcoat it. Sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, I'll just do that better next time," and he's like, "No, like it's possible to have a perfect match. You just got to learn and work harder." And I'm like, "You're right."
I love it. Okay. So we're winding down the interview. I want to ask you a couple questions. There's a couple questions that our fans like to know of the people that we're interviewing. So one is pineapple. Does it go on pizza?
Yes, dipped in ranch too.
And dipped in ranch. I
Yeah,
I don't know about that now.
I stand by what I'm saying.
She stands by it.
Yeah, no
Also,
hesitation.
no, I know you didn't even take a beat. You were like, yes, and ranch. I'm
Yeah.
here with the ranch. I'm not here with the pineapple and ranch, though.
Oh.
I'll
Well,
take
have you
one.
tried it?
I haven't. I haven't. I have not. uh, so, in Oklahoma, for our fans that are not, who are not familiar from Oklahoma, either coming into town, Oklahoma City, what is the thing that we need to do?
Hit up Bricktown, hit up the restaurants and the bars. There's a river, you can catch a boat ride, but Bricktown is a lot of fun. Go to Oklahoma City and hit up Bricktown.
Nice. And what about Tulsa, your hometown? What should we do while we're in Tulsa?
If you have kids, go to the Gathering Place. It's a huge park. It was voted like #1 new attraction on USA Today, and it's free and it's really cool. Even like if you're just an adult, like wanting to walk around and get something to eat or drink, and it's a really cool attraction here in Tulsa.
I love it. Where can people find you on socials? And also, we have somebody asking, do you have merch online if they wanted to purchase it?
They can DM me and I can hook them up with some merch. I can send it out myself. But catch me on Twitter at The Real Skylar Slice and then Facebook at Skylar Slice.
Nice. I am so excited to finally meet you in person. We've talked a couple of times on Messenger. But to finally meet somebody in person is totally different. And then we're going to be together a whole weekend in Oklahoma, in September. But very excited to have you. Our fans are excited to have you. What moment are you more excited for the Oklahoma City show with tacos, or are you more excited to do a show in Tulsa in your hometown?
Well, I love tacos, but I'm excited for the Tulsa show just because it's my hometown, and I hope a lot of the fans that watch me locally will check out the show and really just support women's wrestling there. It'll be cool because I don't think Oklahoma's really hardly ever seen anything like this, so I think it'll be great.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time, and we really appreciate you. And everybody can follow her on socials, and then everybody can see her live on Title Match Network, not 1, but 2 days in September. September 11th, we'll stream the next day, and then September 12th, we'll be live on Title Match Network for Tussle in Tulsa. That's a mouthful. But Skylar, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
And I, absolutely. You and I will be talking up until the day of, I'm sure.
Yeah, DM me.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, if you want her merch, make sure you get in her DMs. She's on Twitter and Facebook. She's got merch for you, Bobby, because I know you were asking. But thank you so much, Skylar. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And hopefully, if you and your sister, that your tag team can make it down to Texas, to tussle in Texas.
Hey, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Guys, I absolutely love Skylar Slice. If you guys haven't heard of her, or if you haven't followed her, please go do so. She's an amazing talent out of Oklahoma. We got to get her down to Texas more. We got to get her to Mission Pro. And if her and her sister make amends, hopefully we'll get a little Kill Slice, which is their tag team name, in Texas. You never know. Maybe they can go up against the Renegade Twins. Maybe they're the ones to take down the Renegade Twins. You know what I'm saying? Guys, don't forget, we got a lot of dates for Mission Pro Wrestling coming up. October 9th, we're going to be in Corpus Christi, Texas. October 23rd, we are going to be back in Conroe at one of my favorite places, Southern Star Brewery. I got my giant Southern Star Brewery can here. Little product placement. There you go. There you go. And, of course, November 20th, Southern Star Brewery. And just dropped December 11th, we are going to be back right here in San Antonio, Texas for Salvation Army show, raising money for the Peacock Boys and Girls Club. For any reason you guys want to donate, because you love the program, you love what they do, they're always taking donations. So hit them up. We'll make sure to keep posting their link as well, so you guys can keep donating. But December 11th, okay, guys? December 11th, Salvation Army. That's our new date. We're going to be collecting toys for the Christmas Angel program. If you're not familiar with the Christmas Angel program, we collect toys for the boys and girls, and the Salvation Army will wrap them and distribute them. And also we'll be taking donations so they can keep their programs going for the boys and girls of San Antonio West Side. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I see you, Ryan Romano. I see you trying to name my shows. Don't you be naming my shows. I don't think so. I ain't naming nothing, no Christmas chaos. No thanks. No. We ain't doing that. I got a theme going, guys. I'm just kidding. I like to mess with Ryan. But guys, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys joining us. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Make sure to stay tuned to Mission Pro Wrestling as we drop as we drop more and more info. Lots of dates coming at you, lots of matches, lots of women's matches, lots of hard-hitting matches, lots of entertainment matches. Entertaining matches. And if you haven't already, go check out Friday's show, Shoot to Thrill, from the Salvation Army. The crowd was hot from beginning to end, and we thank every single person that made that show happen, and we thank every single fan for supporting us and for making everything so much fun. We couldn't do it without you guys. All right. Peace. We love y'all. Have a good Tuesday. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell on this video, and we'll be coming out with you with more content soon, guys. All right. That's all I got. That's all I got for this Tuesday. I don't know what to do. Emily's not here. All right. I feel like I've talked enough. I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Good night, guys.